Hi everybody, I am Lake Uthaya and welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel. We are back with yet another episode. This is day 2 of Femina Miss India. Here I take you down my journey as Femina Miss India Punjab 2022. And as usual, here are the chapters. The first one is Daily Diary, where I run you down with what happened in the day. Day 2 is Practical Perks, where I tell you the skills that I learned that day. Day 3 is the value vault, where I talk about the personality traits that I either inherited or the ones that got sharpened that day. Day 4 is a reflective rewind, where I go down the road of nostalgia and try to remember the things that are personal and that I felt. And the fifth one is the coach's corner, which is self descriptive, where I, as a coach, also tell you certain tips that you can keep in mind. Day 2 started with us being divided in two batches because we are 31 girls. They divide us into a batch of 15 and 16, respectively. And we have our own timings when we have to leave and when we have to get back and when the other batch leaves. So my roommate was in a different batch and I was in a different batch. So our call times were different. Having said that, the breakfast time was the same. So we had to go down for breakfast before like 10:30. So no matter what, no one could be sleeping post that. So we had our breakfast. I was super excited about the buffet and I kind of had a little bit of everything, which now in hindsight wasn't the best idea because I think that's exactly where my weight gain in the pageant began. We then got dressed. We were told to wear a bodycon dress for the visit to our salon where we went to Savio John Pereira. This was in Bandra. As soon as you get in a cab would have mostly like 4 or 5 girls, and we would have to write down the names of the people who are in our cab and send it so our contestant managers could keep a note of who was in which cab number. So as soon as we reached Savio John, there was of course like a video when we were entering, etc. As usual, everything is always recorded. And post that, we had our hair consultations where they had a look at the color of our hair. Guys, we're here at Savio John Pereira's, and we're just gonna get our makeover started.
I've heard so much about them, so let's see the magic happening.
They were given a brief as to this batch, what is the kind of hair color that they are expecting overall. Nothing too loud, nothing too bold. It was supposed to be like a muted dark brown. So the girls who had lighter hair had to get it colored, including me, because I had certain streaks of hair that were, let's say, golden, so they had to recolor the whole thing to a certain different color. A little haircut had to be done for everybody to get more layers so that in photo shoots, etc., layers look better, because when the blower blows on you, it just flies and looks amazing. Certain girls had to get hair treatments like hair botox and certain protein treatments based on if there is a certain part of your hair that's just wavy and the rest of it is straight, so they just like went ahead and did that as well. But then yeah, in general there was a lot of waiting around because there are only so many stations and a lot more girls. Even 15 is a lot of people, so there was a lot of waiting around and talking to people meanwhile and getting to know them better, as it was just day 2. Here's something that happened that was not shown, of course, where there was somebody already in the salon, okay, and we had certain messages that were like popping up by our academy teacher that girls wear better innerwear, girls wear shapewear, get girls do your make sure you put lashes on. And we were just reading and we were like, we don't understand what's going on. This was the first time that we were meeting her face to face, and of course plays a huge role in deciding who makes it and how to make a batch strong so that they have a set of contestants who are really good, that they don't just have a great winner but also have a great season, right? A great show. I mean, I think I was like 6th or 7th in number, but the girls who had gone in, had their one-on-one consultations, came out, and I heard stuff like some of them were suggested to get like lip fillers done, some of them were told to lose weight from certain parts of their body. When I went in, the first thing before I stood, right, because I know interview etiquettes, and they said, oh, please come sit down, so nice to meet you, etc. And before I was about to sit, she just like pinched my dress to see something, like she just did that to my waist, and I was like, uh-huh. And she's like, I was just checking if you're wearing shapewear. I said, no, I'm not. And she says, "Oh, that's a good body. What do you do?" I said, "I work out." She's like, "Nice, good job." I said, "Thank you." And I sat. The stylist, the main stylist of the batch sitting. There is the assistant to the head of operations sitting. There is our posing guide who's going to help us with photo shoots and getting the good shots sitting. There was a hairstylist and a makeup artist from the salon sitting. And they all stare at you. They stare at you for like a good 4 minutes where you start to feel very awkward because they really like peer into your face and are trying to like figure out what they're trying to do is just trying to understand how much of makeup skills you understand. So I remember being told, "Why are her eyelashes off?" And somebody else said, "Oh, I think she put it in the car." She was right. I did put it in the car because we'd gotten late, and like eyelashes, for some reason, because there's such a hassle, I would keep it to the very last minute and almost never get to wearing it because in my head I was like, worst comes to worst, I'm just gonna put like a load of mascara, but I you have to put lashes. It's just a thing in pageants. So I remember Pragnya, my friend, did it in the cab and it just stuck weird and they probably noticed it. They again got really close and they're like, "I don't like the color of her blush." They say, "Yeah, it's too pink for her skin. It's okay. We've had her makeup consultation done. So when the Sephora people give the blush, it'll be her shade." Basically, medium skin tone should have something of a faded pink and not like coral pink. Coral pink looks good on like fair people, but I'm wheatish, so I probably had the wrong blush shade on. They also asked me, "So what are your plans after Miss India? What are you planning to do?" I was pretty intimidated. I'm going to be very honest because it was just that space, where everyone's just giving you that look. Like, is she really worthy, sort of a thing? And it's day two, right? There's only so much you know about these people. The assistant to the head of operations just went ahead. She used to work at an IT company. She has quit now because she got selected at Miss India, right, Lake? And I just said, "Yeah, that's right." They're like, "Okay." Yeah, so they just wanted to know what next in case they put a crown on my head. The main reason they called us for this was there are like a 2 3 hairstyles that fit each face, right? Maybe curly hair would not suit me at that time because I was broader and like I had a lot of hair, right? So it just makes you look more broader. So they decided a few hairstyles for me. One was like sleek straight, one was a bun. And they said, "You know what, other hairstyles, we know how it looks on her because I had photo shoots. We've never seen her in a bun. Your hairstyle for the day will be a bun." So like all the other girls, when the photo shoot was being done, all of them had like gorgeous hair, they were flipping around, and I was in a bun. They probably saw my face shape and they just decided, let's try that. Practical perks that I learned, number one was hair care. I did happen to have frizzy hair because I had not put in a lot of effort in making my hair like softer and etc. Like hadn't learned how to blow dry really well, so I would end up with just straightened hair, which wasn't the best in hindsight. So when they started to do a lot of hair products on me, it just got rougher and rougher. And they had a really hard time throughout the pageant because of that. I would also suggest to not do crazy colors to your hair. Try to keep it as natural and muted as possible because they mostly do color your hair again anyway. So I remember that I had colored my hair paying a lot of money just a week prior, actually 3 days prior. I had gotten myself like a mocha color, and yeah, they redid the whole thing again. So like hair damage is like peaking at that point. The other thing is makeup adjustments. You need to know where to put your blush, right? Putting your blush on a certain part of your face lifts your face, whereas putting blush probably on the apples of your cheek kind of makes your cheeks look bigger. So depending on your face, you need to figure out blush placement. You need to learn how to do your lashes and do them quick. If you can get like magnetic lashes and stuff, even better, but just make it a habit because lashes are important and you don't want to be pinpointed for that. Another practical tip was talking to your service providers. I learned during that day that there they were trying to make us comfortable, right? But as a model, you probably have done a lot more of this than the people there have, and everybody's in the space where they're tired and sleep deprived, and that's just how the industry works, right? So if someone's doing your hair, figure out and like talk to them about how long have they been doing this, what is their favorite hairstyle, how many celebrities have they worked with, what are their future ambitions. Just stuff like that will make them remember you longer. Same when it comes to makeup artists. Keep asking about which is her favorite brand, what she really likes, how did she start, is there any academy that she suggests, etc, etc. Take down their numbers. You will get to know in the further episodes why taking down certain people's numbers gets really helpful. Coming to value vault, I think the one thing that sharpened was resilience. Here's something I didn't tell you, right? Because I was the only girl with a bun. When I posed, I couldn't like flip my hair. I just had to work with my face. And I remember like people laughing behind the camera because somebody just said, ये तो मिस इंडिया शूट कम ब्राइडल शूट ज्यादा लग रहा है. What could I do? It was not my choice, but like I heard that, right? But I was in front of camera and there's only a certain amount of time given, and I just ignored it. And you just have to be resilient in spaces like this because they're not personally targeting you, Lake. They just happen to lighten the mood in the ways that they want, probably not expecting you to hear, but you just got to do your job. You know, you can't keep listening and keeping an eye out on everything that's happening around, because that's just gonna mess up you as a model. Another value was adaptability. I obviously, having spoken so much about the bun, you can clearly know that I didn't like it. Like, I didn't like the bun on me. I just felt like there could be something better given to me. It just felt very restricted. Like, you know, hair was one of my strongest assets because they were long and thick and beautiful. But did I show that on my face? I didn't. I made sure I looked super pretty, like pretty eyes, and I went ahead and gave my best shot. Adaptability will be your number one benefit, not just as a pageant aspirant, but also as a model. So you need to roll with the things that they assign to you. Coming to reflective rewind, I do remember that when the pageant pages saw the makeovers that everybody got, they saw that I just had a bun in the end. Had a few pageant pages who would reach out to me as advisors, and they ended up saying, why would they do that to you? They could have given you straight hair or something like that. Are they trying to make sure that you don't shine? For whom these thoughts are already pondering in her head, this is not the most encouraging thing to hear. But you know what? You choose to ignore it because you don't want, it's just day two. There's so much to go. You do not want to let comments like this impact you. Another fun thing is I actually met Raj, who is the hairstylist, even when I was giving my Punjab auditions. And a whole month later, I met him again, and he was like, "Hey, I remember you." I said, "Yes, I remember you." And he was very sweet to say, "You know, I've styled a lot of people's hair during that day's audition, and I knew that you would make it as a state winner just because you just had that aura within you. And I've worked with so many celebrities and like so many, you know, pageant winners, and you have winner material in you, and I'm rooting for you 100%," while he was doing my hair, and that just made me super happy. I think another thing I remember is there were rumors that the winners get to do posing in front of the smoke machine. So a smoke machine is something that Savio puts up to give that sort of a glam effect where you're emerging from the smoke. And I was not selected for that. There were only like 3 girls who were selected for it. Basically, people who could do stuff with their hair. And because I was in a bun, I obviously wasn't in it. And we were just all in the corner, just staring at the girls who got to do all that glam stuff and, you know, had cameras rolling around them. I don't think I gave too much thought to anything to an extent where I started to feel bad about things. I guess that's that. We reached the hotel, we had dinner, I took off a ton of pins from my hair, and then we went to sleep. From the coach's corner, trying not to be too repetitive, but reminding you again, you should be open to constructive criticism. That day when I was told that, you know, the blush color is off, or like my lashes are not put the right way, I didn't have to like get super offended and be like, oh, you know, does that mean that I'm not pretty? Does that mean I won't make it? I was like, okay, I don't know enough about makeup. I know that. So if someone's telling me something, I take that feedback. There was another feedback given during the time where the operations head of Miss India went ahead and said, you know, there were a few pictures I was watching of yours that you'd submitted, and this looks good from afar. And then she said, I looked at it up close, and that hairstyle and that makeup is just not working. Don't ever do that, okay? I didn't take offense, like, oh my God, that shoot had put in so much effort to that shoot. How can she say something like this? I was like, okay, you know, I'm learning. You know better because you've been in this industry. The second thing would be to learn about your face. Know what your face shape is, know what hairstyle suit you, know what makeup suits you, the way you should be doing your eyes. Should you be doing siren eyes? Should you be doing doe eyes? Should you be curling your hair? Should you be straightening your hair? What kind of layers you should get? What kind of lip shade suits you the best? One of the best ways to do it is go to malls on every weekend and just try some testers on and figure out for yourself what looks good. Please experiment with your hairstyles. Super important. The third tip that I want to give is the choice to change your body is always yours. Let me repeat that again for you and for everybody who has so many preconceived notions about the pageant and the modeling space. The choice to change your body is solely yours. Nobody forces you to do things. Yes, cosmetic surgeries are a thing in the beauty space. I remember even during my batch, there was a girl who was constantly told to get lip fillers done because she had the most beautiful face, and they just said, you know, a little tweak to your upper lip will just make your face perfect. And she just didn't. She's like, no. And she still hasn't. People will say a lot of things. If you want it, if you think it will enhance your features, go ahead with it. If you don't want it, no one's going to force you. That is it from day 2. This was a pretty fun video. I think you got to know a lot of like secrets in this video. Although the day wasn't as long and did not consist of too many activities, there are a lot of these tiny nuances that you should keep in mind. Make sure that if you liked this video and if you're liking this series, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and switch on the notification bell. I will see you very soon. Thank you for watching. Bye.